Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all new Talkin Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today I'm kind of sick again. I'm dealing with the winter cruds, like I always do. And so after my short day at work, I figured, it's trendy. Everybody's talking about Bird Box, so why don't I watch it and let you know what I thought about it? I will warn you, there will be spoilers in this review because honestly, um, it'll be hard to talk about this movie without using spoilers. So here we go. Bird Box is based on a 2014 book. And what it is, it's 5 years after some threat has attacked the world that causes people to commit suicide. Starting to sound familiar already? A woman and two children are trying to make this desperate reach for safety. They finally got in contact with someone, and this person says you have to come down the river, but of course you can't look, because if you look, you see these things, whatever they are, and they'll make you kill yourself. So uh, they have to go down this river blindfolded, and the movie it talks about that plus the 5 years leading up to that, what has all happened. If this movie is anything, okay, the style of this movie, of course, A Quiet Place is something that people are going to want to mimic, and stylistically, this movie kind of mimics that. Even though the story itself does predate it, again, it's from like 2014. Stylistically, they're going for A Quiet Place in this, but the plot itself, in a way, is if you mixed A Quiet Place with M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening. That is the easiest way I can put this. It's that. I mean, no, it's not the wind, but since we don't see whatever it is that's attacking, whether it be aliens, demons, monsters, whatever it is that's attacking the world, we don't get to see it. So you see a lot of bushes moving and wind blowing, so it might as well be The Happening. What? No. Yes, it might as well be The Happening. Is this movie as dumb as The Happening? No. The performances in this make up for the lack of a great story. Sandra Bullock does a decent job as Mallory. She's the main character. At the beginning of the movie, her and her sister are traveling in car when the crap starts to go down, and Mallory is pregnant, and she's due, it's like, I think the end of September or something like that. And after the car crashes, her and her sister's car crashes, her sister is played by Sarah Paulson, who's barely in the movie. She ends up getting brought into this house where there's other survivors. Trevante Jones is one of the survivors. That's the main character from Moonlight. John Malkovich is in there. Jackie Weaver, Lil Rel Howery, and a few others. B.D. Wong's in there. And it's about them trying to survive, and they go throughout the 5 years of what's happening, and figuring out how they can get more food and things like that. So part of it, honestly, kind of in a way feels like something like The Walking Dead as well, even though, again, you don't see what's attacking. Things start to get complicated once they start running out of food. Tempers flare up inside the house. Also, you start to find out that people that are mentally unstable accept this creature or whatever, and it kind of takes them over like their god, and they start hunting down people that would kill themselves if they saw it, so they kind of work with the bad guy, whatever the bad guy or bad guys are. So that kind of complicates things when humans can be involved in the problem as well. The idea of this movie was okay. I mean, again, it felt a lot like The Happening, and that really hurt it. And there was just some things in it that bothered me, such as, okay, it's horribly predictable. Okay, you have at the beginning of the movie you have Sandra Bullock and a little boy and a little girl named boy and girl, and it's one of those where it's like, okay, I bet at the end they get names from some of the characters or a couple of the characters in this movie. So I put that on it right at first when I learned their names were boy and girl. Finding out who they are is really easy because, of course, one of them is going to be Sandra Bullock's kid that she's pregnant with. And later in the movie, another pregnant lady shows up at the house, and she's due just about at the same time as Sandra Bullock's character. So, of course, there's a dual birthing scene. And it's like, okay, when you know who's the mom of the boy and who's the mom of the girl, you can already tell, okay, well, whoever is the girl's mom is going to get the mom's name. And my guess is it wasn't going to be Mallory, Sandra Bullock's character. It was going to be the other character. That's like, gee, I wonder if they're going to call her Olympia at the end after her mom. Oh, they did. And then whenever you start to get a love story between Trevante Rhodes' character and Sandra Bullock's character, it's like, gee, well, we know he doesn't survive, so I wonder if the boy's going to be called Tom. Yeah, he is. So yeah, that part's predictable. I'm not going to say that the movie didn't have any scares at all, but if you've seen something like A Quiet Place, you already kind of know what kind of scares you're going to get. It's like, well, in that movie, they couldn't make noise. Well, in this one, half of the shots are a blindfold in the face. So, that it's, of course, oh, there might be something coming, from this side or that side. And then there's, you see them wandering around with their blindfold and a gun while the person that can see is jumping all around, and everything, like, who's going to turn, who's going to leave, all the characters and how they're going to react. And that's my problem, is that everything was just horribly predictable. And of course, at the first, when Sandra Bullock's character is talking about how, well, I don't know if I want to be a mom and all this stuff, and she's considering adoption and all this other stuff. It's like, gee, I wonder if this is going to be the type of movie where her character learns, I want to be a mommy now. And it is. I mean, everything about it's really predictable. So, as a movie, it's fine. If you want to watch it, you want a couple of okay, cheap scares, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't say, if this movie came out in theaters, I'd say don't go. Since it's on Netflix, I mean, it's just 2 hours of your life. So, I mean, if you want to watch it, that's fine. Again, the performances are fine. But the story itself is kind of weak. And especially if you've seen The Happening, this feels like The Happening with better performances in it. You have the unseen terror, and they never do. They never show what these things are, what it is, if it's demon or monster or alien or whatever. They just have all sorts of theories. And yeah, it's one of those movies that I'm fine that I watched it. But would I ever sit down and watch it again? No. That's going to be all for this edition of Talkin Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about Bird Box, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Geno Reynolds, and I'm going back to bed. See you later.